Hello, my friends. I am Cindy Ola with Sacred Garden Yoga. I don't know about you, but within the past couple of months, I really feel like I've been in the throes of my own personal development. I usually ebb and flow with that. I'm sure you probably do too, where there are times where I feel like I really need to share and I need to create a lot of content and put things out there. And then other times when I need to turn that energy more inwards and focus on the things that I need to work on for myself and my own personal growth. And I think all healers and spiritual workers go through that because the messages that I often receive to give to students or to clients, they're often for me first. And so I wanted to come on here and share with you three main points that has been coming in strongly for me and see if this perhaps resonates with you as well, especially if you've been feeling stuck or stagnant in your life. Okay, so I don't want to waste any more of your valuable time, so let's get started. Number one is to really take care of and to be a good steward for all of the things that you are responsible for. And that includes your physical body. Your physical body is like this chalice. It actually is the chalice that stores and houses all the information of everything that you've ever experienced within this lifetime and in previous lifetimes. It is the vessel that you've been given by Source itself from which your soul can come through and experience life. Your body is beautiful and it's magnificent, no matter the shape, the color, or the age that you're in. It is this miraculous vehicle, this miraculous vessel that has been gifted to you. You have all these chemicals and systems in your body that respond to every single thought that you have. Okay, so take care of your body, take care of your mind, and don't take them for granted. Also, make sure to nurture and to take care of your relationships. You can have all the magic in the world and say that you're wanting to ascend through all these different levels of consciousness. But if your body is a wreck and your relationships are falling apart, then it really doesn't matter. Now, does it? Because the magic, the true mystery lies within the framework of the life that you're living. Make sure to take care and nurture your home as well. These past couple of weeks, I've been on fire with wanting and feeling the need to really clean out my home. It started out with cleaning up my son's room because we were bringing in a new bed. So we were cleaning out his closets and getting rid of things that he's outgrown. And then that went to me going in and cleaning out the linen closets because I was looking for sheets. I swear I washed every single sheet in my linen closet. And then that went into going into the spare room and cleaning out the spare room closet and all the drawers. I took that into my room, and Marie Kondo would be proud of me for the way that my undergarment drawers look like. They are pristine. But I think the reason that I felt the urge to do that these past couple of weeks is because something new is wanting to come into my life, and I had to make the space, the room, and also create just the atmosphere, the resonance to hold this higher frequency of whatever is starting to come in and to evolve. Okay, so make sure to take care and to nurture the things that have been given to you already. Otherwise, the signal, the message that you're putting out to the universe is like, okay, well, I have all these wonderful things, yet I'm taking them for granted. I'm letting them all fall apart, but then we're still asking like for other things. We're asking for our lives to improve. We're asking for our lives to get better, yet we're totally avoiding and ignoring what's right in front of us. And the true magic lies in taking care of the things that are right in front of you, nurturing your body, taking care of those relationships, nurturing your home, and taking care of the people that you serve. Okay, so that is first and foremost. Number two is to trust in your divine timing. And divine timing isn't always your timing. For example, a few years ago, I was working on really trying to rehab a relationship. And the first thing that I had to do was to just really decide that I wanted this particular relationship to work out. And it was funny because the minute I made that decision, I actually heard this voice saying, "Okay, we're on it. We're going to help you with this." And I was really excited, right? Waiting for results right away. But in reality, it took about a year. In hindsight, I realized that the universe had to go through this process of rearranging my whole reality in order to accommodate the rebuilding of this relationship. And it was going to take time. Now, during that time, of course, I had to be extremely patient. And during that time, I also had to be very aware and attuned to whatever action steps that I had to take in order to make room for that relationship to grow and to be what we both wanted it to be. And I find with those big asks, like fixing a relationship or finding a new occupation, figuring out life purpose, like these bigger requests and these bigger asks, they take about that much time. And I also find this to be true with the clients that I've worked with one on one and personally, especially through the 90-day programs. In other words, in those programs, when I'm working very intensely with someone, that once they start to get the ball rolling for those higher, those bigger requests that require a rearranging of the way that you look at life, the rearrangement of thought patterns, the rearrangement of your internal and emotional body as you release certain traumas, that it takes about a year for the universe to also realign itself with your resonance and with your frequency. Now, some people, of course, they can do it quicker, they can do it faster, but I find that for the average normal human being that is just, trying to move through life, that it takes some time. And we as humans tend to be impatient. We like to rush things. We want things right now. But it's also part of our maturity and part of our growth process in realizing that it's not always, yeah.
Just focus.
No, I can't focus.
No, use your Yoda. We were just watching Kenobi. Use your training.
Okay, now go. As humans, we tend to be impatient and want things to happen right here, right now. But I think it's also part of our maturity and our growth in understanding that if we want something to really come to life in a way that it's aligned for our highest self, that there is a timing to that. And we have to trust in that divine timing and know that the universe is working for our highest good. Hey, hey, change of scenery. I'm at the yoga studio now, but there is another piece that I wanted to add to this conversation about divine timing. I just got off of a conversation with a beautiful and sweet client of mine. You're probably watching. Big hugs and kisses to you. But we were talking about divine timing and that alchemical phase that we all must go through. It's that in between space, that liminal space of where you're not who you used to be. Right? The old is dying away, and this new version of you hasn't quite come into fruition. And you're in this like ooey gooey in between what we call the liminal space that you see other creatures in nature go through this as well. The caterpillar, before it becomes the butterfly, must sit in its cocoon for a while. And while it's in its cocoon, God knows what it looks like. It's probably, again, like this ooey gooey little mess where the caterpillar itself is disintegrating, or it's rearranging it's going through a whole molecular rearrangement to become the butterfly. Well, we go through that same process when we're going through our own sacred alchemy. And if you try to force the hatching if he tried to force the caterpillar or butterfly or whatever this little creature is in the cocoon, if you try to hatch it out before it's too soon, and if you go and you try to open it up and force it to come out, that creature that's in there probably it wouldn't survive because it's not ready to come out into the world yet as the beautiful butterfly. You can't force it to come out. All right, that's the timing that I'm talking about. When you're in this liminal space, when you're in that in between phase, you must give yourself the grace, the patience to be there. Nurture yourself while you're there. Take care of your body. Take care of the chemistry of your body and to do the things that's going to support that molecular rearrangement. But don't try to force it to happen before it needs to. Otherwise, what comes out, what you create or manifest from that space, it's not going to be the highest version of yourself. You see? So give yourself the grace, give yourself the space, especially if you're in this in-between liminal space, to be there and know that you are being held, just like that ooey gooey little creature is being held within the container of the cocoon. It is safe, it is nurtured. Know that while you are in your liminal in-between ooey gooey space, that you are also held and that you are also being nurtured, and the trust in that. Trust it in the timing, and you will be beautiful. You will turn and flourish into whatever version of that creature, that beautiful butterfly that you are meant to be. Okay, so number 3 is to set good boundaries for yourself, especially if you're an empath or if you are an intuitive person or highly sensitive person. It's easy for us to take in all the feelings of the collective, and somehow we tend to feel like the world is our responsibility. Like everything that happens in the world is on our shoulders and it's our responsibility. Another thing that empaths tend to do is they naturally have a tendency to see the good in people to the point where they completely ignore the shadow sides of other people. And it's a beautiful thing to want to see the goodness in people, but it can become a hindrance to you if you refuse to look at the characteristic and traits in people, especially people that are in your lives, that it's becoming a detriment to you. And we'll use it often as an excuse and say, oh yeah, this person, they did a terrible thing. They treated me this way, but I see the goodness in him or her, and I just need to forgive them and forget about the way that they mistreated me. Okay, that is not an ideal way to live and move through your life. I mean, yes, forgiveness is a good thing. Seeing the goodness in people is a beautiful thing, but you also need to know how to draw boundaries and say, okay, enough is enough. They treated me badly and I need to move on from that. Okay, so setting those kind of boundaries for yourself, setting boundaries in what you allow to come into your resonance, into your frequency, into your framework. It's such important work, especially for sensitive people or empathic people who just want to let everybody and everything in. Now, I've always been able to set pretty good boundaries for myself. If you know anything about astrology, my Mars is in Scorpio and he's exalted there. Mars is the planet of setting good boundaries for yourself. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, myself and Jimpi Seno have a course coming up in July called Intuition, where we'll be talking about how to use the influence of Mars to set good boundaries. And we'll also be talking about the phases of the moon. We'll be working with the moon energy, and we'll also be talking about magic with Mercury. But anyways, back to what we're talking about. Make sure to set good boundaries for yourself. Don't be a doormat, and know that no is a complete sentence. It's okay for other people to think that you're a bitch. if that's what it takes for you to take care of yourself. And to make sure that your intuition is intact, because that is the voice of your discernment. Okay, so just to recap those three things. Number one, take care and be a good steward of all of the things that have been given to you. Number two, trust in divine timing. Divine timing knows better than your perceived timing. And number three, set good boundaries for yourself. And I hope your life continues to flourish throughout this summer season. Be well, and a big love and magic to you all. Bye bye.